Yeah, the future of mobility is coming, and you're surely looking forward to it. How did the company start? What did you have in mind?
Well, the company started in 2010 as an Italian company because we have 3 shareholders, myself and 2 companies based in Torino. One is active in engineering, the other one in prototyping. And we started the company because I have to position it in the historically. We were at the end of the first 10 years of 2000. Big financial crisis in the world, big crisis in the auto industry in Europe and the United States. You remember the bankruptcy of General Motors and Chrysler and other companies. So therefore, there were very few projects available for design company in Europe or in the United States. While at the same time, in China, there was a booming market with a 2-digit growth. The company was started in Torino with very few people. We have 5, and 3 designers, as a matter of fact. And we started working on some projects, Chinese projects from Chinese car makers, because in my previous experience, I have been going to China many times, and I saw that market as a potential. At that time, we decided that the real business idea was to bring the design and the people to China to be closer to the final customer, to facilitate communication, to avoid the time difference and any other kind of barrier you can have. And also, you have to take advantage of the fact that the Chinese government was financing the Chinese car makers in order to create Chinese brands. Because before they were working in joint venture 50-50 with European and American companies. But doing that, they would never be able to create their brands. So they started to finance local companies. And in order to launch a branch, you have to have a portfolio of products, starting from city car to sedan to big cars, SUV or commercial vehicles. So they have learned, working for the joint ventures, the manufacturing phase, but they were lacking knowledge in the first phase of the product development, design, prototyping, etc. So we saw that that potential, and we started the company in Shanghai. And we were an unknown entity in 2010-11, because brand new company, no? So we went show the car in our Shanghai Auto Show 2011. And in order to be innovative, 7 years ago, an electric car was innovative, because at the time, yeah? Then in 2013, we went with a supercar. In 2013, we went with the Neo, the little sister which is sitting there, which is a city car, electric car. Now, we want to be always a step ahead, no? To try to be, as a design company, you're selling emotions. Or you have to setting a trend, exactly. So our idea is, okay, now, the electric car is becoming not a mature product yet, but it is in the process of growing. It is known already. So now, the new trend, the new phase, is the self-driving car. Self-driving car, the technology means substantially. The problem is technology, and the problem is regulations, of course, because nobody can think of today regulation for this. So the idea was, let's design something which represents the day after tomorrow, not tomorrow. Because if you come here with a normal car or an electric car, you are not saying anything new. You are just, it's and since, as I say, a design company has to sell emotion and innovation, we thought of this car. This car is representing our view of the future transportation, the future mobility. The future mobility is going to be without the steering wheel, without pedals, without anything. You just sit there and relax, because at the end of the day, using your mobile with an app, you call the car comes and pick you up and bring you where you want to go. And then go by itself. Then can go back to take up your kids and bring them to school or whatever. Then when you need the car again, you just dial the number and the car comes and take you where you want to go. So you are sitting here you don't have to care about driving because the car is driving itself, so you are not looking at the road. So you are relaxing or working. So if you have to do that, you should do it in a very comfortable way. If you sit here, look at that. So this is, of course, the upper level. We're talking level 5, and we are talking luxury view of a car. In here, you can sit and relax, you can sit and work, have a business meeting, or watching the television, or do whatever you want. Our inspiration has been a private luxury jet, or let's say a yacht, something which is, let's say, top-notch. So if you're sitting here and you just landed with your private jet at the airport, you are going to a 5-star hotel, you are enjoying, like being in your room already because you can do whatever you like and drinking champagne.
The future looks nice, but how do you reckon, when will the self-driving cars actually be available or actually function on the roads that we know today?
Yes. In terms of technology, that's, again, everybody has its own opinion. In terms of technology, I believe that in a matter of 2 to 3 years, it can be done. We are currently working with some technological partner to make it happen. But then the real problem is regulation. And regulation is something that is on the hands of governments, different countries with different mindset. So I don't know how long it's going to take. It can be 5 years, it can be more. And I believe some countries are going to be far ahead than others because they are more in need of doing this. Where, let's say, the capital are in China, as a matter of fact. The technology is mainly developed in California. If you think of China, why? You say, first, it's a political will. If somebody in China decides it is going to happen, it happens. Nobody can do it in the Western world. That has not had that political power. I make an example. If the mayor of a big cities in China decide that tomorrow the taxi have to be electrical or self-driven, it happens because they can do it. Second, they have the money to make it happen. And in the Western world, that's not true. Third, they are one of the major producers of lithium, which is the raw material used for producing for production of batteries. And fourth, they have a pollution problem they have to solve. A big pollution problem they have to solve. So we believe that probably China is going to be the first country, and we are there. And second, the technology is mainly developed in California. The hub of the new technology is California. That's why we opened the office in Los Angeles in 2016. And we have already 16 people there working on this. And of course, we have the office in Torino where we are another people. So in total, we are about 120, of which 80 more or less are designers. Then you have, of course, the computer-aided design or commercial or administration, whatever.
Do you collaborate on a business level with Slovenian companies as well?
What?
With Slovenian companies?
Not as Icona. One of our shareholders has a plant near Ljubljana producing parts for Renault, etc. It's Čekom. I introduced the owner to the gentleman.